Am I the asshole? I paid $18,000 in cash for a car, but my grandmother is gaslighting people into thinking it was a handout. I recently bought a car from my aunt and uncle and paid the full price for what it was worth, which was $18,000. I had no problem paying that because I know the car was maintained well, and honestly, I would not give a family member a discount on something that significant either. The problem is that my grandmother has been boasting to everyone that my aunt gave me the car for free. I don't know why she is saying that, but it really angered me. I worked hard to pay cash for that car, and I do not want people thinking I receive handouts. So I went to her and politely asked her not to tell people that. Instead, she turned it around on me and said, "Oh, so you want everyone thinking your aunt and uncle made you pay full price? What kind of person does that? Family is supposed to take care of family." Then she literally shut the door in my face, as if I were the problem. I told her directly that it makes me look bad, someone who works 60 to 80 hours a week, if people believe I am just getting handouts. Top comments. Comment. My grandmother knows full well that I paid top dollar for that car. Perhaps her memory is not what it once was. See how she enjoys the truth being twisted. Answer. Post the car on your social media with a caption like, "It took me a while to save up $18,000, but I am just so happy with this new-to-me car. I bought it from my aunt and uncle, so I know it is in great shape, and I'm looking forward to driving it for years to come." Comment. Just tell people not to take my grandmother seriously. Her mind is slipping. Say it loudly where my grandmother can hear it. If she says anything, say, "Well, grandmother, you could not remember I paid my aunt and uncle what their car was worth, so I figured your mind was slipping. Love you," and walk away. Being old does not give you an excuse for being a lying, crabby old woman. From a crabby old grandmother, haha. Answer. This. Also, my grandmother is a narcissist. She's more concerned with what people think rather than what actually happens. She's more concerned with forcing the narrative of other people instead of encouraging her family members to do what she wants people to think. I bet my aunt, uncle, and I don't care about what everyone else thinks, but my grandmother does because she thinks it reflects negatively on her. Comment. Not the asshole. Next time she says it or someone brings it up, say, "I'm so worried for my grandmother. I think she's starting to show signs of dementia. I already told her I paid $18,000 for the car, but she keeps forgetting and making up stories. Maybe we should get her checked out." That should shut her up fast. Comment. I think my aunt and uncle have financial problems, and she's trying to hide it. My grandmother is overcompensating by telling this lie. Just tell people she has dementia and that you actually paid the full price for it. She must be thinking of the time her parents gave her a car for free. Write what you think about this situation. Who did the right thing, and who is the asshole? Let's discuss it in the comments. In the meantime, let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? So I, a 36-year-old female, attended my college friend's wedding last weekend. I was really excited for it. She is a good friend, and I wanted to celebrate. The issue is that I have a medical condition that means I cannot eat certain common ingredients, specifically gluten and dairy. It is not a fad diet or a preference. I get very sick if I eat them. I mentioned this on the RSVP card, where it asked about dietary restrictions. The bride told me the venue could not guarantee anything gluten-free or dairy-free because of cross-contamination, but she hoped I would make do with the salad and fruit. I did not want to cause trouble, so I quietly brought a small container of safe food in my bag, which was literally just grilled chicken and rice. When dinner was served, I discreetly went outside for 5 minutes, ate it quickly, then came back in to join everyone. I did not make a scene, did not bring smelly food, and did not take anything away from the event. It turns out the groom's mother saw me with the container outside and apparently told a bunch of people I was disrespecting the caterer and making the couple look cheap. At the reception, she confronted me and said I was embarrassing the family and that I should have just eaten beforehand if I had an issue. I explained that I wanted to be there for the full event and did not want to faint or get sick. She rolled her eyes and said I was selfish and that the wedding is about the couple, not about your diet. Some of our mutual friends also agree that I made an asshole move and made the couple look bad. Now I'm wondering if I really crossed the line. I did not want to draw attention, but maybe I should have handled it differently. So, am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? Edit. Thank you all for your responses and for understanding. It helped me be secure in my choice and not second-guess myself as much. Reddit verdict, not the asshole. Top comments. Comment, not the asshole. You took care of your own needs. That is it. Is it somehow respectful to eat food that would physically harm you? No. The groom's mother is looking to make trouble where it does not exist. Ignore her. Answer. If I were the bride, I would carefully take note of the mother-in-law's big red flag. Since the original poster is a friend of the bride, this could be a sign of troubles to come. Comment. Not the asshole at all. The groom's mother definitely is. You went out of your way to not inconvenience the wedding party or caterer. No one would have known if the groom's mother had not made a big deal about it. Answer. Seriously, I almost always have a safe snack in my bag after way too many you-can-eat-the-salad dinners. Then they ask me how I stay so thin. The mother is definitely the asshole, but your friend is quietly at fault too. Do not hire a caterer that cannot cater. Comment. The reality is, the wedding was cheap as anything if they could not get you a gluten-free or dairy-free meal. And you were somehow expected to suffer in silence for an entire evening surviving on lettuce and fruit? You were not drawing attention to this. They did. Comment. Not the asshole. The only drama is from the groom's mother. You have nothing to be ashamed of by celebrating your friend's special day and minimizing your absence. So, in the celebration of her son's big day, this lady decided to duck out of the reception, which according to her is rude and disrespectful to the bride and groom? Or she was following you for some bizarre, unhinged reason? The more she makes it an issue, the more unhinged she shall appear. Do not worry, and well played. Comment. Not the asshole. I think what you did was extremely courteous. You did not expect anyone to cater or bend over backwards to accommodate you. You quietly took care of your own needs in private, so you could be there to celebrate your friend. Anyone who thinks otherwise is honestly ridiculous. The caterer is hired to be there. They're getting paid either way. They do not care if you eat their food or not. Such a silly thing to even suggest you were being disrespectful. The groom's mother sounds miserable and needs to get a life. Answer. Not only this, but the caterers were informed of the restriction and essentially said it could not be accommodated. So they really should not be offended for the attendee to have made alternative arrangements. The mother-in-law is wildly out of line and sounds like an insane drama queen to create this strife so unnecessarily toward a stranger about a situation she does not even understand. Another answer. I had one vegan friend at my wedding many years ago. She asked if it was okay to bring her own food. I told her not to worry. Our caterer was happy to accommodate her. She said it was the best wedding food she had ever had. Many of our non-vegan guests said the same. I thought, damn straight, we paid through the nose for excellent food. Cross-contamination is a big deal. Lazy or uninformed cooks can make deadly mistakes. I was a bridesmaid at a wedding serving lemon pepper chicken and was assured they would leave the sauce off for me, deadly allergy to citrus fruits. When I got my plate, the bride inspected it because it looked like everyone else's. They took the plate back and just washed the chicken off and put it back on the same plate. The first taste, before I took a bite, before chewing, caused my tongue to swell and blisters in my mouth. We had my epinephrine pen at the ready. Thankfully, I did not need it, but damn, that was on the bride. Comment. I think you handled it really well. You did not make a scene was made out of you, and that is not your fault. She did not need to say anything to anyone, but she did. Your caterers could not guarantee my dietary restrictions, so I have my own. Stop making a scene and go back to your meal. Write what you think about this situation. Who did the right thing, and who is the asshole? Let's discuss it in the comments. In the meantime, let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for planning international travel without my children? So here is the reality. I have 2 children. They are now 14 and 16 years old. I've had 50-50 custody since I got divorced up until a few months ago. 4 years ago, my ex-wife got remarried, and her husband advised her to start a custody dispute. I spent $165,000, basically my life savings, fighting for 4 years. For the record, my ex-wife's father is wealthy and paid all her legal fees.
This comes into play later. The older child told the court-appointed therapist, "I want to live with mom and only see dad every other weekend." The younger one just said they wanted to maintain 50-50 custody. The younger one then changed their mind and said, "Oh, maybe 70-30 with mom. I just want the court stuff to be over." I went to trial. My attorney fought hard, but the judge said, "Given the children's ages, their preferences will take precedence, and we will not split them up, as it would break their sibling bond." Well, my wife and I have been planning some travel with some of her friends, her sister, and their husbands. It includes 9 days in Spain and France. They picked the dates. We got tickets. The children found out about it and have been asking me, "We want to go. Why can we not go?" I told my children this is something we planned. We saved for it. They asked if it was an adults-only trip. I told them it was not, and their 15-year-old cousin was coming. They said it was not fair that we could not take them, as they know we could afford it, and that it would be their only chance to travel internationally. I told them, "You are young adults now. You chose to spend the majority of your time with your mother, and you got what you wanted. But choices have consequences. One of them is that you do not get to join me on things like this." They are both very upset. My younger one said, "You are just mad we have more fun at mom's house." I am afraid I am being an asshole here. I'm happy to be wrong, but my gut is telling me what I am doing is fair. Reddit verdict: definitely an asshole. Top comments. Comment: You are the asshole because you made it about their choice rather than their inavailability. You could have simply said, "Your mother has court-ordered custody over you during the trip. I cannot change that." Instead, you went the blame route. That is petty and asshole-ish. Do not blame your children for the difficult position you and your ex-wife placed them in. They did not choose the breakdown of their parents' relationship. Answer: My husband's father was so petty that he would pay half the year of extracurricular activities up front and just told him he was out of luck if his mother did not pay the rest, which she never did, for both valid and stupid reasons. So, for example, with karate, he would get half a year from his father and then just have to stop going the rest of the time. So he would end up half a year behind his cohort with his friends in his age group. The same thing happened with guitar lessons. You cannot effectively learn an instrument in bursts like that. It was so discouraging and not how children learn. He would eventually just quit every time. Oh, and did I mention my significant other is in his late 40s now and still telling that story? Figure the split stuff out ahead of time. Whatever. Be as petty as you want when the lawyers are present, but do not let it get to the children. They will remember. Edit. Oh, for everyone asking, his mother is also an asshole. Don't worry. In this instance, though, she really just couldn't afford to pay half. That's the valid reason I mentioned above. She was a teacher with majority custody of 2 children. He was an engineer. As far as I know, that was not part of their custody or support agreement. He just decided unilaterally that those things should be split equally. She thought it was his fatherly duty to be paying. That's the stupid reason she had, and they completely failed to communicate about it. So you get the above situation, which, yes, is also bad of her. Very indicative of their entire relationship, honestly. They were not good together.
The subject at hand was divorced fathers punishing children financially, though. My significant other's father was not acting in his children's best interest to make a point to his ex and possibly make her look bad to the children, which clearly backfired. He could have afforded to pay. He just chose not to, and the children suffered. Hence, petty. My significant other has a good relationship with his parents now. Thanks for the therapy recommendation, though. It has been 40 years. A lot has changed. He is not holding it against either of them. The petty assessment is my own editorial addition. But their behavior during their divorce does color memories of his childhood. Like I said, the children remember when you do not choose them. Comment: You are the asshole for how you are handling this. It would be fine to go without the children, but the way you are handling it is incredibly petty. You are only pushing your children away more. Answer: Agreed. How you are handling the situation makes you the asshole. As a child, my parents went back to court. My mother wanted full custody so she and my stepfather could move out of state. My brother and I did not want to go. We knew no one and had no family there. So we had sit-downs with the judge, and we told them we liked being 50-50.
1 week at Mom's, 1 at Dad's, switched on Fridays after school. But if we had to choose, we would pick staying with Dad because it was where all of our family was. There was some discussion about a recent vacation to Florida that we had gone on with Mom. My father's mother had said it was a bribe. So the judge asked us, "Do you think it was a bribe?" And we both said, "No, we go to the beach every summer. We only went later because we had something else going on during our usual time." We were led to believe that everything we said or did in those meetings was between us and the judge. The lawyers were not supposed to tell our parents anything. My mother's lawyer told her that we said it was a bribe and we wanted to live with Dad only. The judge ruled to keep it 50-50, and we did. The next summer, we were talking about stuff and asked if we were going on vacation to the beach again. My mother and stepfather said, "No, you thought the last one was a bribe, so you do not deserve to go with us this summer," in a snotty voice. They would not even listen to our side when we tried to say we never said that. They went to the beach twice that summer and did not take us. This did several things. Broke the trust I had with my mother and stepfather and many other adults, made me feel worthless, and made me resent beach vacations. It took decades for me to be able to talk to my mother about things, and it's still hard. She, to this day, says that her believing her lawyer over us and saying or doing that to us is one of her biggest regrets because of the damage it did to our relationship. The way you handle this and talk to your children is more important than anything. If you had said, "We wanted to go with just us, maybe we can do something another time," instead of how you handled it, it could have been easier on them. Having another teenager on the trip makes it harder to defend your reasoning, especially when it is a cousin. The biggest point here is to not place blame on them. They did not choose for you to divorce. They did not choose for you both to go back to court and drag it out for 4 years. My parents were only in battle for 9 months to a year, and that caused some damage. I can't even imagine what 4 years would have done. You are the parent, and while you do not owe them a vacation or a trip overseas, you do owe it to love them and be respectful of their feelings. You are the adult. Act like one. Edit. So apparently someone commented while I was sleeping about paragraphs and grammar. I am assuming based on all the context clues from other comments. Just for your information, on my side, there are paragraphs. For some reason, it does not come across when I post from my phone. I also did not read back through and proofread like I normally would because I did not want to second-guess myself. I genuinely wanted to be sure he understood the damage his words have done and could continue to do if he does not fix it now. Not that it can be erased, but he can do better. Thanks to everyone who defended my poor grammar, etc., and actually cared about what I said. Comment. I mean, if your goal is to further alienate your children and worsen your relationship with them, nice work. You do not give any insight into why the children wanted less time with you. They may have had valid reasons. With the limited information provided, it is currently reading as you are the asshole. Comment. Wow. So instead of examining your relationship with your children, 14 and 16 are not young adults, and maybe using this trip to strengthen your bond with them or repair any damage, you are getting petty revenge? I am starting to see why they chose Mom. You are the asshole. Comment. It feels like you are trying to punish your children for the custody battle with your ex. It is entirely up to you whether you invite them on this trip or not, but it feels like cutting your nose to spite your face. You spent your life savings because you wanted more parenting time. Now you have the opportunity to get more parenting time by taking them on a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and you are saying no. Why? To make sure they know you're angry? You say in your explanation for why you may be the asshole, because I may be unintentionally treating my children differently based on how they have treated me. First, your treatment of them is not unintentional. You are angry and hurt and lashing out at them, which is frankly unfair. They are children. Your job is to be the adult. You are not doing that job very well. Second, their treatment of you, I am assuming, is your oldest saying they would prefer an every other weekend schedule, and that hurts you. Have you talked to them about it? Do you know why they made that choice, or are you just pouting about it? Again, you are neither parenting them very well in this, nor setting a good example for how adults behave. This trip is going to be something your children remember for the rest of their lives. You get to decide how they remember it. They can either remember it as when Dad took them on an international trip and made great memories with them, or they can remember it as that time Dad threw a temper tantrum over the custody schedule and went on a trip without them. You are the asshole. What do you think about this situation? Who do you think is a jerk, and who did the right thing? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel to get more cool and interesting stories. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.